was good to finally play someone else, to have our whole team whole with the guys that we have healthy, and to be able to sub, to be able to get rotations and to get guys to play as hard as they possibly can. That's been a little bit difficult for us in practice, as we have 9 scholarship guys that are able to go right now. KJ Marshall's done an unbelievable job in practice of helping us so we can do some 5-on-5. So it was good to get 40 minutes of 5-on-5. I thought we did some good things. We have a lot of stuff that we have to improve on. We'll get to the tape, we'll watch it, we'll figure it out. We'll gather back together on Monday and start teaching again. We have some time before our next exhibition game, so we'll look to correct some of the things that need to be corrected and continue to work to get better every day. You can open up for questions for the guys.
Nelly, how did it feel getting to play in the Pitt, place from the area?
I think it felt really good, man. I had my family here just to get the environment, get our feet wet out here a little bit. Everybody get a chance to contribute. I think it was a good time for sure.
You guys shot 42% from 3. What was working in that department?
The guy sitting over there, Greg Elliott, Nate Santos, those guys are shooters. So as long as we get them the ball in the right spaces, they're gonna make shots.
Blake, you hadn't played for a while for different reasons, but how did it feel just to get some actual action, with some competition?
Awesome.
You guys had a lot of different scores today, and what kind of led to just being able to feed off each other? What have you guys been able to establish? There's a lot of new guys here that just got to this room.
I think that's going to be our thing this year. We got to share the ball. We all got to contribute. We can't be just a one-man team, so we all have to be able to contribute multiple different ways, scoring, assisting, playing defense, and everything. So this is a together unit, and that's what we're going to keep doing every single time we play.
Nelly, you were running the pick and roll with Federico, with both the Diaz-Graham brothers, with a lot of guys out there. How comfortable were you running the point today, running the pick and roll with those guys?
Oh, yeah, I'm very comfortable running the point, and especially with those type of guys who set those good screens. They get me open, so I'm able to make decisions seamlessly when they're setting screens like that.
What is it like for you to play with them? Those are 2 guys that could play inside, but they can also shoot, extend the floor out. How's it like playing with them?
Yeah, I think it's good playing with those guys. Like you said, they can do both things. They're versatile, so there's nothing on the court that I feel like they can't do. So it's definitely good playing with guys like that.
Jeff, what have you learned about your team so far compared to this time last year?
Well, I mean, I've just focused on our team this year. That's it. And these guys have worked really, really hard. We've been unbelievably together. In the first half, I was a little bit disappointed. Our first half numbers, as far as the assists to field goals made, were not what they've been in practice. Number one, we had too many turnovers. It was 8 assists and 6 turnovers in the first half. But I think we had 8 assists on how many field goals? 17 made field goals, and that's been very opposite of how we've been in practice. The second half has been more indicative of how we've been. We had 13 assists in the second half on 21 made field goals, and we only had 2 turnovers. So this team has really shared the basketball. We've shot the basketball extremely well in practice. The spacing has been good, and it's been good. We have to improve defensively, especially our interior defense. And we have a lot of work to do, but they've really worked hard.
Jeff, how has Nate progressed from his last year, and how much have you seen him grow up?
Yeah, he's progressed a lot. I mean, he's in better shape. His body is different. Mentally, he's in a better space. It was tough. You come in, you don't really have a summer because of COVID and the protocols. There's some things that we can't do. He missed his whole senior year of high school, and he's thrust into a moment that maybe he's not ready for early. He played and did some good things, but then he sat for a little bit. I think he used it all as motivation, and he's been really good for us, and we need him to be really good for us. I thought today he did some really good things defensively for us. He's learning how to play stronger, learning how to use that body, and he's done a really nice job for us.
Jeff, last year you guys had a lot of games where you just played 5 or 6 guys, and that's just what you had to ride with in situations. Now you got these 2 guys that you were familiar with last year. How does it feel being able to feel more confident about that?
Yeah, I feel confident in all the guys we have on our team. All of them are good players. The main thing is being about the right thing, being about the team, and everyone trying to figure out what can they do to help us win. That's what it always has to be about. That's the way we've been pretty much the whole time. We've had some moments like everyone does. You know, I thought we had a couple of moments to start the second half. There was a little stretch there in the first half where we didn't do that. But the great thing about this team is that we've been able to get out of it pretty quickly. And hopefully that's something that continues.
Jeff, without John, you got to look at how you're going to use your other big men, the twins, and then Feedy. What do you like about those rotations? It seems like you tried a lot of different things.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, first of all, they're not John. So that's the very first thing we have to realize. Like, they're not guys that you're going to feed the ball inside to a lot. You know, like John, like we will when John's able to return. And so we have to figure out different ways. There are guys that are more, Fede is more in the dunker spot. He's more of a guy that's going to rim run and play above the rim and do things there. Guillermo is a guy, he can pop. You know, he's more of a skilled, he's more of a pick and pop guy. He can pass it. You know, with his strength right now, he's not able to post because he doesn't have a strong enough base. But there are things that he can do that really help our team be in a better place. His passing, his cutting, his intelligence. He really knows how to play, and he really knows how to play off of guys. And he can shoot the basketball. He didn't make a three today, but that's something that he can do. And so, again, we're just trying to figure out the strengths of each guy and put every person in the position to help them be at their best, which will help us be at our best.
Any more questions for Blake or Nelly before?
I was gonna-
Let's go ahead and get
Uh,
the player.
Nelly, I know that this is an exhibition game. You guys were up big, but second half, Clarion comes out. They have a 6-0 run, and you had a possession where you kind of just took the ball at the top of the key and just drove in. And how much was that? Was a play that you guys called or a moment that you called to make that happen? Because then you guys started your own run off of that.
Yeah, I think for me that was just like a recognizing the moment type of situation. Like, I seen where our team was at. We had a little laps, human nature laps. So I just wanted to come out and be aggressive and show the team that we needed to, push, keep going. So that was my way of doing that.
Either Blake or Nelly, could I just ask real quick, what's it like playing with Greg on the court? He seems like he always has a ton of energy.
Boy, that's my favorite thing about G3. He always got energy, always got a smile on his face. Makes it really fun to play with him.
Thanks, guys. Jeff, is there a key guy that's kind of taking charge that you can kind of look to and be like the sort of your commander right now of this team, or is that still kind of working itself out?
We have several guys that have stepped up and done it. Nelly's one of them. Blake's one of them. He's got a great voice in the locker room. Greg's one of them. Jamari's obviously Nike. I mean, it's been a group thing that's done it. And it's going to be a committee for us all year. Guys do it. Guys have to take ownership of it. This group has so far. We've faced a little bit of adversity, not much. We know that that's coming as far as games are concerned. When it's tighter, when the competition's a little bit better, and that's no disrespect. But when you're playing against, the teams that will play, we know it's going to be tighter, and so we'll see in those moments who steps up. But I think we have a lot of guys that can.
Well, that play he asked Nelly about that, early in the second half, is that the kind of thing you're hoping that he will be able to do, and maybe him and Jamarius can give for you guys as veteran guards?
Yeah, I was more concerned about us getting stops, not about us driving to get a play. I mean, we didn't come out with the necessary energy defensively that's required that we need all the time. And so I was more concerned about that than the drive that he made. I'm glad that he made it and we finished it, but I was more concerned that just in that moment, we weren't playing hard. We allowed human nature to take over. But again, we were able to get out of it pretty quickly.
What's your sense, Jeff, of when John will be ready to go?
Hopefully before our first game against Tennessee Martin, we'll probably know a little bit more next week. He gets evaluated again on Tuesday, and we'll hopefully have a better time frame then.
Will you be scrimmaging any other teams besides the next exhibition game?
No, we can only do 2 exhibitions or 1 scrimmage and 1 exhibition.
You got any scrimmages?
No, we can only do 2 exhibitions or a scrimmage and an exhibition or 2 scrimmages.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How did the twins and Fede, how did they respond? Like, to John being out, like, okay, you guys got to step up in practice now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's they've stepped up. It's been an opportunity. They are unbelievable young men. They want to be a part of something. They're easy to be around. They're fun to be around. And all three of them are workers. You know, it's interesting. The guys on the team call them the triplets. They're always together. And so, you know, they're workers. You know, where it hurt us a little bit tonight is that we haven't worked on defending the post because we don't really have anyone to post. And that's, you know, an area where we got to get back and get some work in. But all three guys are good players, and they're very different. You know, like I said, Jorge's the athlete. Fede's more the athlete, the guy that can play above the rim, finish above the rim, and things like that. G is more of the skilled guy. You know, Jorge's a guard. He's a perimeter player. He's not a big guy. He's a perimeter player, and that's how we're going to use him.
Jeff, what did you make of Nike? It's his first game back in a while.
It was great to see him out there. He's had a really good, I don't know if you call it camp or what we do, but since we've started practice, you know, it's been I think now it's been about 2 weeks since he's been cleared to go full 100% of practice. We started him when we first started practice. He was able to do 80% of every drill. The next week was more 90%, and then we got to 100%. So it's been a couple of weeks. He's a really good player, and he's going to be an important player for us. And it was great to get him some minutes and have him do some really good things out there.
Thanks, Jeff.